Yo, what's going on, guys? We have a brand new ESBR on JP, which is the Super Saiyan 2 category here. And as you can see here, there has been literally no upgrades other than one EZA, which is Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, from the previous Super Battle Road for Super Saiyan 2. It's actually kind of crazy. Super Saiyan 2 just gets no love whatsoever, but we are still able to do it with the help of Kale. Being a Universe 6 leader. Since a lot of the Super Saiyan 2s are Universe 6, you can at least run a decent leader which has multiple super attacks and damage output. So let's jump into this event here. Of course, as an ESBR, we have access to all the items and support memories, which is going to be very, very helpful in order for us to get through this. But yes, starting it off with the Kale, which is great for the damage. We are running the Zeno item, which gives Universe Survival Saga the extra attack and defense. I felt like I just didn't need to heal, since every single turn I will be using items to get through this. It is a very tough, I guess, ESBR Super Battle Road for me personally. Like, literally, I don't, like, other than the Gohan, there has not been an upgrade since then and the friend leader. So yeah, this will be... It was an interesting battle, to say the very least. So we have 5 enemy fight here. I like the 5 enemy fight because we can just take out each of the enemies pretty quickly. I think this super here kills, which was also a critical 7.4 million for the K, which is actually not too bad. Running the Barbershop Ultimate Clash Goku, which is a 90% super class leader. it was definitely needed for that extra stats in order to get this high of attack stat. Kale does the 3rd super and will kill off Cell, which is great, and so we just have to deal with 3 Cell Juniors, which is definitely possible. And yeah, the free-to-play units here are going to be very low in damage output. We want to make sure that I always have Kale next to Kale, just for that good linking situation, and Kale supports Kale, of course. I do want to have Caulifla, at least one Caulifla floating off. I am running the SSR variant as well as the TUR EZA variants because you need the dodging, and the dodging does come in actual very, very clutch. There is a very exciting ending, which I did not even believe it happened, but it did, and I'm super happy that it did because this was my first try on doing this, and I was actually not expecting to win here, especially getting into last phase where I just didn't have plenty of items. So if you've done this Super Battle Road, you know what the fights are. The final fight is going to be God Goku, which is STR, so Kale being AGL and doing multiple super attacks is very, very clutch for us. But yeah, we are still just using items here. Make sure we just take no damage and no need to be low on HP. And this turn, we will finish off the Cell Juniors. Should be at the very least, with Kale doing multiple super attacks. There's the first one, which is also a critical. The second one. And we do actually end up transforming with Kale at some point, which is very, very good. And then the free-to-play into Kale will finish off this phase. So moving on to the second fight here, which is Deborah, Yakon, and Pui Pui, I believe. Yes. Activate the Zeno item once again. And this is a 3 enemy fight here. We have used 3 items already, and deciding on which one to use first, and I just went with the double item because I think maybe we can kill pretty quickly here. It would be nice to get through this battle with, I'd say, 2 items. It would be nice. That was my goal. At least having 3 items. I make sure to keep like at least 2 Ghost Ushers, 1 Nurse Chi-Chi, so you can just go back and forth with the items and be pretty much invincible. So that's why I went with the Icarus and Whis. This whole time, I've been trying to get this one rotation where I have Caulifla and Kaba on the main rotation. Because Caulifla can be a first slot unit with the 60% dodge chance, and then Kaba gets a decent amount of defense post super. And that was the goal for the rotation, then having the two KOs together for that linking situation and support, and so that I can float out the Gohan, which also supports the KO. That's the only reason why I brought the Gohan. Also, there was no other Universe 6 option as well for free to play, unless I start using redstone units, which I didn't really need to. It didn't impact the battle all too much. I'd probably still use the same amount of items. So now we have the KO. Just did some chip damage to the small fries. And just gotta pray that KO does her thing. Getting the 4 super attacks would be ideal. I don't even know what the friend was actually built in. I just know it was 100% and I yoinked it as soon as I saw it. There's the second. I'm just fingers crossed that this kills Yakon. And I don't think it does, so we do waste the third super, which was very devastating. Something that you don't want to see, of course. You want to save another item for this battle. But we do get the 4th, which is really good now. I'm just praying for the critical, because this KO hasn't been critting as much as I want it to. But no critical, especially on the tech Deborah. So it's going to take another 2 turns at the very minimum in order to kill this battle, because next rotation just has not enough damage whatsoever. Here we have the SSR Caulifla taking a super attack and does dodge, thankfully. Would have actually dealt a lot of damage to us. We don't have much health to even begin with, and this is when I was like, oh, do I have to use item? Luckily, the attack pattern was decent to use a Ghost Usher on, and all I needed to do was pretty much pray that I killed at least one of these guys, and I targeted Pui Pui here. So luckily we have Caulifla being type advantage. Kappa actually threw out a decent amount of attacks that the Gohan support really does help. It's actually our second highest damage dealer, I think. Kappa 3.4. And he didn't do an additional, but we did take out Pui Pui. And then KO gets the transformation. So this is the one and only time I get to use it here. And then they do a lot of yapping, which I had it on mute, so I didn't even know what they were saying. This is actually a really long transformation. When you really think about it, I think. It's still going. This is a solid minute transformation. And now we got Super Saiyan 2 KOs together. The Dokkan mode was coming real soon. I kind of made a big mistake grabbing too many colored orbs, knowing that if we did kill here, I would be doing a Dokkan mode on the weaker rotation. That was probably like my only big mistake that I made, but I made things a little bit more interesting at the very least. So Kale here does kill Ubura, and we can get into the last phase here, which is God Goku. Now, usually in the Super Battle Red, I was running the Super Saiyan 2 Goku, which was a stunner. We don't have any stunners here, so the only protection we do have is our items here. Went with the Ghost Usher first. Gotta make sure that I have as many links activated as possible. And I try to like just grab not colored orbs so I could try to get the Dokkan mode with KO on the next turn, but sadly did not. I was like, oh well, we'll see what happens here. If I die, I die. Just reattempt it. Not a big deal. But it is only a 2 million attacks, that Dokkan mode, which is obviously not that impressive and will not do that much damage to Goku. Cabba here, 2.7. Has a decent chance to critical. Hopefully he pulls it off here. No critical. And the fact that we did so little damage already I was getting a little bit worried because next turn we have to use another item here. I was actually contemplating of not using an item, but I knew Kale would not take would take a lot of damage, like into Kale and even Gohan with the 90% leader only, because Kale does not lead the Gohan. Goku does super attack Kale, which with the Nurse Chi-Chi is going to do no damage whatsoever. And we get our first super, so we just got to pray that Kale does as many super attacks with criticals as possible. The first super, no critical, but did a decent chunk. Second super here. Of course, each super is greatly raising attack, so each super attack is going to do that much more damage. Then we get a third super, and I was like, come on, one more for the boys. We did get the critical, but we did not get a fourth attack in, which was very, very annoying. I was like, okay, if one of these two free-to-play units can get a critical, we could get this done here. Kale did get a critical, but it was not as much as I thought it would be. And then Gohan here, 1.4 million. It just gets worse and worse. But I think he does do an additional super attack, which helps a lot. Because that second super was also a crit, and I thought that was it. But he's still alive here. And now we have 4 attacks at the beginning with Caulifla, our only savior. She needs to dodge all of these. Maybe she can take one normal attack, but that is a maximum. But luckily, she dodged everything. What a dodge goat. Dodge queen. And she gets us the W. And that is the Super Saiyan 2 ESBR. I think, honestly, in my personal opinion, probably harder than the... What was it called? Not the Legendary Existence. It was... Whatever Goku... The Super Saiyan 2... Super Saiyan Namek Goku lead. It was a Legendary Existence? No, Saviors. Saviors ESBR. That was... that. I honestly think Super Saiyan 2 was harder. That's probably, I don't know, they're close. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy today's video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys in the next video as always. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay busy. Peace.